Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Matthew Easy. You can also call me Jambrojani FX. On today's video, I'll be putting you guys through the way to trade Forex signals. I know that some of you guys have difficulties. You join some kind of Forex signal channel and you run into difficulty finding profitability by trading those signals. You basically take the signal that are sent to you, but you end up not making money at the end of the day. For example, if you just join the signal group on the first day of the month and you have been trading the signal that have been sent to that group for about 1 week, 2 weeks, you start observing that you are not making money at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of 2 weeks, at the end of the month, and you don't really understand why that is happening. Then you start calling the signal provider a scam. Now, what you should understand is there's an approach to everything in the Forex market. This is a job where you don't just come in with the mindset that you want to get rich quick. There is an approach to taking signals in the Forex market, and that approach is what I'm going to share with you in this video. Make sure you pay attention to the tips I'll be giving you on this video. Now, first and foremost, what is a Forex signal? The Forex signal is that indication that somebody sent to you or provided you with. For example, you have a mentor that sends you a signal where it says buy GBP USD, and you, on the other hand, go into your MT5 or your MT4, then you key in that signal and follow the instruction of the mentor. But you end up observing that you might get lost along the way. Maybe he sends the signal with TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, or TP1 and TP2, or just sends one TP, and you don't really know when to hold, when to close, when to set break even on your trade, when to take partials on the position. You're just confused. All you just do is you buy because he says you should buy, and you put your stop loss where he says be your stop loss. I also have experienced my own fair share in this issue of signal taking. I used to take a signal back in the day, and I would, when they say I should buy, I take a position of buy, and when the trade start going against us, I tend to shift my stop loss, feeling that okay, this person that sends the signal is a guru, definitely should not lose now. So let me just keep pushing my stop loss lower when it's buying. Then I end up blowing my whole account. And when I go back and check what the signal provider sent, I would observe that he did not change his stop loss. He kept his stop loss there and realized the loss. But I was stubborn and I was afraid, so I didn't want to lose my money on that position. So I kept on opening my stop loss, shifting my stop loss, moving my stop loss, then to the point where my account got liquidated. Now, these are the problems that most of you face in the signal service space, and I want to put you guys through on how to understand the best way to take your signals and how to thrive in the Forex market just with signal taking. Now, there's an approach to taking signals in foreign exchange markets. If you have a mentor that, first and foremost, you would have researched on his track record, you would have researched on how accurate his signals are. Basically, you were studying for a period of time and see how his success rate is in terms of signal providing. If you see that he has, over the space of 2 months, he makes steady income, 6 months he also makes steady income, 1 year you can see that he's making steady income. Okay, now you can dedicate your money and invest in that signal service. But what you should still understand is you should still study how he manages his loss and his wins, because most of the time everybody loses, whether it's a guru, whether it's a beginner, everybody loses in the market. But what you should understand is how to manage your situation, manage your losses, manage your risk when it is time for losing, because it will always come. Now, as a signal taker or a beginner, you should understand that first and foremost, you should never should you move your stop loss or change your stop loss except you are taking it to break even. Meaning, you are taking the stop loss from where it originally is to the entry price. Break even means you are taking your stop loss from where it originally is. For example, if they give you a signal where they say you should buy at 1.2500 and the stop loss on that trade is 1.2400, your stop loss initially is 1.2400, but when it's time to break even, you are taking that stop loss, you are modifying the position and putting in a stop loss of 1.2500 instead of 1.2400, meaning you are taking the former stop loss and making it the entry price, so that when the price that has gone in your direction reverses on you, it gives you no loss in the market and no profit basically. Many of you guys that take signals in the signal space, you end up blaming so many of your mentors because you feel that they are the ones affecting your profitability, or you feel they are scamming you because you don't see how they are making the money when the signal they sent actually go to stop loss. The one they sent that is winning is just 2/5. What you should understand is those guys understand the job to the point where they utilize what they call risk management and risk to reward ratio. You, on the other hand, you don't know what a risk to reward ratio means, and for you to understand it, you have to go through. I posted a video about risk to reward and risk management the other day, so you can go through that video so you can understand how risk to reward ratio and risk management works. Now, with that risk management, you can lose 3 of your trades and get inside 5 number of trades, and you still come out being profitable if you have a positive risk to reward ratio. For example, if you have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio and you are losing 3 trades and you are making 2 trades, you will definitely come out profitable. Why? Because on the 2 winners that you make, you will make 4% up if you are risking 1% per trade. Then on the 3 losers that you take, you will lose 3% on those 3 losers. Now the net profit is what? 1%. How? The 4 winners minus the 3% losers gives you 1% up in your equity. So at the end of the day, all you now have to just do is to bring in nice capital so you can boost that 1% to something that you can easily use in real life. Another point that you should take note, if you are taking signals, you should make sure that you try to get a mentor that sends you a signal image, basically like an image of how the chart looks like when it's entering the position, or a entry price at which is entering the position, so that when you come to the chart or you come to the signal service group and you observe that okay, he entered at this price, and for example, if you are coming late for that day, you could see it clearly that oh, this man entered at this price and currently market has already left that entry price. If you enter it above or when it has gone past that entry price, you might be taking a higher risk trade than the initial mentor himself. Then if the trade now ends up hitting your stop loss, you might be risking higher amount than him, then end up running down your profit that you have made in the past signal that you collected. These are the things you have to take into consideration when you are taking signals from a mentor. If you will take signal from a mentor, make sure you are taking signal from one mentor, so you don't get to mix up different mentor signal and blame each of them for your own profitability. How do I mean? What I mean is this: a particular trader has what they call an edge or a strategic advantage in the market. For example, if I'm going to take 10 trades in the market for a particular duration of time, and I have an advantage that I will make definitely 5 out of those 10 trades, and I'm going for a risk to reward ratio of 3-to-1, I know I will come out profitable at the end of the 10 trades, because I will make 5, then 5 times 3 is 15%, minus the 5 I will be losing, which is 5%. I will be up 10%. But if you now combine my signals with a Forex mentor who has a signal service that's giving you 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, and is having a lower accuracy, for example, of about 40%, and on the days he's winning, you take his own winning trade, and the days I'm losing, you take my own losing trade, definitely the advantage will not sum up at the end of the day when you now try to now quantify how much you have invested and how much is coming out as return. Why? Because the edge is no more unified. You are meant to stick to one mentor and hope on that mentor's edge to give you profitability. Now, this info I'm giving you, most mentors don't put it online for free. You don't see it on YouTube anywhere, and they always make you want to join their VIP signal group so you can get this information. In VIP signal services, they teach you how to take the signal. Basically, they don't just send you signal to you and let you be stranded. They teach you how to take the signal and when not to take their signals and when to take their signals. This and more is what I will be providing to you if you join my Telegram channel. The link is in the description box below. But what you should understand is, once you can have a mentor that can put you through these different approaches on how to take his signal, then you are guaranteed for profitability at the end of the day. Another point you should consider is punctuality. For example, many mentors trade London session, New York, and the likes. Take me for example, I trade only London session. What if I come to the market and I take a trade by 8 o'clock in the morning, and you on the other hand, you are taking my signals by 9 o'clock in the morning? Definitely market will have moved from that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Then you are the one that's taking the signal late. You end up taking the signal at a higher price. Then if I end up losing, you lose more than me. Why? Because you are risking more on that trade. If I end up winning, you will win less than me. Why? Because you entered at a more pricey region in the market where the risk to reward will now be shorter compared to mine. It depends on the case anyway. If you enter when it's reversing against us in drawdown, you might lose much money. Then if you enter when it's in our direction, you will lose much of your profits. Another point you should consider is unified risk amongst your trades. Now, what you should understand is this. Once you are being served signals, for example, you are served 10 signals in a month, and you don't stay consistent with the amount of risk you are putting per signal, you are going to end up losing or not being consistent in your profits or in your trading account, basically. How do I mean? For example, if you have decided that for this month of February, you are going to take signals with $1,000, and each trade you will take it with $100 risk. What you should understand is, once you take the first trade to the last trade, you have to keep up that same $100 risk on every trade. Why? Because you cannot tell the trade that will go to your stop loss. You cannot tell the trade that will go to your take profit. All we know in the markets is we do our analysis and hope the market gets to our take profit, and pray it does not get to our stop loss, basically. But what you should understand is, once you start changing your risk, for example, a signal was sent to you on the second day of trading, and you guys won that signal for the second time in a row. You now feel that, okay, since you have won the first time and the second time, on this third trade, instead of risking $100 per trade, I will risk $200. What happens then? You now lose that next trade. You will now go back to being in deeper drawdown than somebody that's risking a unified risk. How do I mean? On the first signal, you risked $100 for that trade, and you won $200. And in your mind, you feel that, okay, now this is working. Let's continue going. Then the second trade, you risk that same $100 on that trade, and you won another $200. Now you have made a net profit of $400 in two trades. You now feel that, okay, since we won the first and second trade, let me risk $200 on this next trade. You end up risking that next trade $200, and you now lose that trade. What happens? It means your $400 profit will now become $200 profit. And somebody that traded unified risk will be on $300 profit, not 400 anymore, because you guys lost one trade, so he will be on 300 while you will be on 200. Now, if you keep up that inconsistency, let's say you now trade the next trade, because you lost money on the previous one, you now increase your risk so that you can make more money back and get to where you're meant to be. You now risk about 300 on your next trade. You now lose that next trade. What happens? You're now back to being on a drawdown of $100 in your account. But who will you blame? You will say it is the mentor that sent you wrong signals. You did not win that day. That's not his fault. He has sent you 2 winning signals and 2 losing signals. You are meant to be in profit if you manage your risk well and stuck to your risk to reward ratio and risk management. But you did not do that. Then you now end up blaming him for sending you wrong signals. No, it doesn't work that way. What you should understand is, once you keep your risk consistent from the first trade to the last trade, you will definitely see the edge of that mentor strategy in action when you are taking your trades. At the end of the trading tenure, you now get to realize the profit that mentor's signal service and trading system can provide you. Another point you can consider is self-sabotage. I call this self-sabotage, meaning it's you that do yourself, basically. What is self-sabotage? That is when you by yourself did something that just corrupted your trading plan or your account growth. How do I mean by that in trading space? You should understand that if you are being served signals and you now end up, okay, since you are in profit now, let me just go and take, this news is happening, NFP is happening, let me go and take NFP. You now trade NFP by yourself. You didn't take a signal from your mentor that day. Then you end up losing more money on that NFP trade because of slippage that the broker gave you, or because of you were wrong in your analysis, obviously. Then you now start blaming, why did I trade this thing? The broker is the one that is my problem. The broker is not your problem. You are your problem. How? You didn't stick to your trading plan. What's your trading plan? It is to take this $1,000 account and trade every signal that your mentor sends to you with $100 per trade. That is your trading plan. It's simple as that. But you didn't stick to it. You went to go and trade NFP news or another news, CPI news, then you got clamped. That now will reduce your profitability on that account. Why? Because that loss is definitely going to be accounted for, and you will not blame your mentor for that one. It's yourself. And another thing you should consider again is when, for example, your mentor sends you a signal to trade with $100, then because you are not, maybe you're not concentrating or something is happening, or you're there, this happens very well. Your network provider is not giving you enough service, then you now end up pressing for example, you press the buy with 0.1 lot size, then it didn't fill you in. What's going on? Why is this not buying now? You keep pressing the buy. Then you now minimize the app, thinking that your internet is down. Then you come back on the app and you see that your MT5 has opened about 0.1 positions just in that one buy trade, that buy signal. Who do you blame for that? Your mentor? No, you can't blame for that one. Why? Because that's a problem for your internet service. That's a problem for you to take account for. How do you sabotage that? You should know that these are things that can occur from your own self mistakes. You can't blame any mentor for having a bad network. You understand? So those are the things that can limit you when you're taking signal services. So don't just come up and blame a signal provider that is giving you wrong signals, it's not profitable, it's taking one win inside 4 trades. Do you really know it's RR? See the concept. So you should understand and make your researches on your signal provider before you invest your money in taking their signals. And also you should watch out for these steps I gave you in this video, so you don't just get to sabotage your account yourself and start blaming somebody else, maybe your broker, your signal provider. With these few points of this video, I hope that I've been able to explain a lot of things about the signal services that is provided to you guys in the Forex space. If you want to take my own signals, you can join my Telegram group. The link is in the description box below. If you also want to sign up with my broker, my link is in the description box. You can sign up with the broker I use today. Also, if you feel I should teach you about Forex, I can mentor you on Forex, you can also hit the link in my description box to join my Telegram group and send me a personal message if you can. Also, my Instagram is @matirizi. You can send me a DM if you are confused on something or you need help one way or the other. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment what you feel about this video, turn on your post notification so you don't get to miss out on other videos I'll be putting out on this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. Peace out.